As Florida continues to grow with an inflow of approximately 900 people a day, there is great pressure to expand existing road infrastructure to accommodate this growth. There is also an increasing need to create housing and develop businesses that can absorb the growth. If we wish to protect our wildlife, we must protect the corridors that sustain them. There has never been a greater need to protect the Florida Wildlife Corridor and to grow the network of functioning wildlife crossings. Roads that transect corridors represent challenges to wildlife and compromise connectivity. Installing functioning wildlife crossings at strategic points on these roads is a key component to successful wildlife corridors. That is why the FSTOP Foundation decided to create the Crossings and Corridors Project. FSTOP's role in this project is to establish a network of cameras in specific roadway culverts and underpasses so we can create the necessary image and video content to help make these future crossings a reality. The content can be used not only for marketing purposes, but also to show if wildlife is already using the existing structures for crossing the roads.
Working in the culverts and underpasses is very different than when we're setting up our cameras out in the field in the bush, because obviously you're right next to a very busy road or underneath the highway. It's very noisy. You have to be very careful with the traffic and the trucks going by at full speed and stuff like that.
We are also installing cameras in established and functioning wildlife crossings to show how these benefit wildlife in Florida.
You can see the fencing on that side and this side, and the fencing goes all along I-75 to funnel the animals through these corridors, otherwise they would possibly just cross over. So they come up against the fencing and then they get funneled in here and they have to use these crossings.
Installing functioning wildlife crossings at strategic points on these roads is a key component to successful wildlife corridors. We are fortunate to be able to partner with both the Florida Department of Transportation and the Florida Wildlife Corridor Organization for this project. FDOT brings to the table the desire and the ability to incorporate future wildlife crossings into road expansions that are projected to happen in the coming years, and share its growing GIS wildlife crossing website, showcasing wildlife utilizing existing crossings. The Florida Wildlife Corridor Organization works toward the goal of securing protections for the remaining 7 million acres of the 17 million acre Florida Wildlife Corridor through strategic partnerships such as ours. Wildlife crossings without habitat protections can soon become monuments to missed opportunities and reminders of what we've lost. We have an incredible opportunity right now to build in functioning wildlife corridors into future road expansions. We look forward to continuing to work with our partners, supporters, and followers on this critical project.